Hi, everybody. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, everybody. Oh, what a day. I'm going to tell you all about it, but come on in. Um, uh, do you love, oh, I have to go. I don't think I've had false eyelashes on since I was like 13 or 14, and I'll explain to you why I have them on. But I left them on because I figured you would enjoy this. So this is me with full makeup on. Because, and I'll explain it to you, I was on TV today, and God bless professional makeup artists, because she had 10 minutes to do this. I have full makeup on. I don't know if you can see this, with false eyelashes. So yay, yay, yay. Come on in and I'll tell you all about it. And let's see how everybody is. Hey, Colleen, thank you for joining me. Hey, Kellyanne, let me know, you guys, that you can hear me and everything. Hey, Georgia, thank you. They did my hair. I'm like, yeah, I feel like queen for the day. So thank you so much, you guys. Hey, Kellyanne. Hi, Joan. Good to see everybody. Kellyanne, hi. Hey, Chris, how are you? Sometimes I'm not the best at scrolling here, you guys. Hi, how are you, Chris? Thank you so much. Thank you, Diana. I so appreciate it. Thanks, you guys, for coming in. Yay. Good. So we're all here. Good. So we got a lot of ground to cover today. So I entitled this Sales Tax. I want to explain to you about the ramifications of the Supreme Court decision that came down today. I'm going to date this because I'm sure things are going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So this is June 21st. We're going to talk implications of the recent Supreme Court decision on Wayfair, South Dakota, where they overturned the Quill decision. And I'm also going to talk keyword sales power, because I did promise you I would speak to that. So we're going to get right to it. So the Supreme Court decision that was handed down today on Wayfair, South Dakota, which overturns Quill. What it does for now, and realize there's a lot of wheels turning already. I mean, you can imagine there's phone calls, emails, lawyers, all kinds of stuff going on, is in the decision, previously you had to have what was called nexus, or a physical presence, to collect sales tax. And you get to hear New York, speaking of sales tax in the background. So, being a New York seller, I live in New York, I do business in New York, I do not have a physical presence. I don't have a warehouse. I don't have an employee in another state. So I collect and I remit New York sales tax when a New York shopper shops with me. Wayfair Quill, what it does is it went after, excuse me, not Wayfair Quill, Wayfair South Dakota went after Wayfair and some other companies. And what it was about was that if they do any kind of business with a South Dakota resident, no matter where the company is, whether they have physical presence or not, they have to collect sales tax. And there is a transaction threshold on that, just to let you know. I don't want to get too into the weeds on it, but there is a threshold transactional amount on that. The reason this is of particular concern to online sellers like you and me is it now opens the door for all the states, and I know New York, because New York loves taxes. They are, I'm sure they're already running and trying to figure out how to do this, and California, and everybody else will be in line, because this opens the door that you no longer have to have a physical presence in the state to collect the sales tax. So what that means is, as this rolls out and as the other states jump on the bandwagon, which they will do, is that I will then have to collect and remit tax from all the states that have sales tax. There are some that don't. For instance, New Hampshire doesn't. The reason this is not good news for small sellers, and just for you to know, for Small Business Administration, you're a small seller when you're under several $1 million. So I think most of us fall into that category. Is the compliance, is the collecting it. It's not just the collecting it, it's the remitting it. You then have to get certified in each state. You then have to file. Some states want it done every month, some want it quarterly. For right now, don't get hysterical and don't go nuts. It was just passed. It's just South Dakota, and there's a transaction threshold that I believe most of us are under. But it does open the door for other states. That being said, eBay, Etsy, and an awful lot of other companies are, I'm sure, already in the works of running to Congress, working with Congress, and I'm sure congressional representatives are aware of this too, is there will be a huge press on Congress I will totally post and let you know about it. And look for emails from eBay Main Street. If you have not signed up for their emails, go on their Facebook page, find them, call eBay, get their email, and get on their email list, because we will be peppering Congress with emails. We have midterm elections coming. That means Congress listens to constituents even more than usual because they want to get reelected. Everybody says that they are a friend of small business. Good. They need to pass a threshold. What they need to do is go yes to the new decision with Wayfair and South Dakota, but it only applies to businesses over 10 million, over 15 million, over 20 million. They get a high a threshold as possible, so all of us will be exempt. That means you only have to collect tax for a state that you have a physical presence in. Realize FBA sellers, Amazon FBA sellers, fall under a different jurisdiction because their items are warehoused by Amazon. But for those of us that live in and operate in one state, and for some people it's multiple states, you might be in New York and New Jersey, or Illinois and Indiana, be doing it in 2 states. But for now, breathe. Most of us are under the threshold. Now is time to do a full court press on Congress to have a very high threshold. And we're looking at 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. Make sure you get a hold of eBay Main Street, other advocacy groups. Get on their email list. Watch my wall, my personal wall. I do post things about emails for small business, and also my business page on Facebook. I love to be selling. I'll be posting there too and encouraging you to send emails. Okay? So that is the implications on sales tax. You will hear a lot of people saying a lot of things. I encourage you to stick to the facts and don't let people get you hysterical. You're welcome to go to my personal Facebook page. I posted a statement about it. I have not posted on my business page yet. I will. It's been a busy day. And I posted in my Facebook group, eBay stores, nothing but eBay stores. But hang tight. Now, the reason for the makeup is I was in Washington a couple of months ago, and I was part of a press conference about this pending case. And I spoke up for small business. It's really noisy in my neighborhood today. Sorry about this. So Fox News reached out to me literally 2 hours ago, and they said, would you come and speak for small business? I was dressed in a t-shirt and yoga pants, and I was in the process of mailing my day's mail, and I said, of course. And I literally finished packing, and they had asked me if I could leave my house in half an hour, and I said, make it an hour, because I literally had to finish packing my mail, get it out, came home. My husband was a sweetie. He helped me with that. Put on my dress. I'm like, oh, what do I wear? And I said to them, I said, you are doing hair and makeup? They said, yes. I said, good. They sent a car for me. I jump in the car. I'm going over the Supreme Court brief. I wanted to read exactly what the justices said. In the car, on my way to Fox, I'm reading all of this going, I'm, just studying up on everything. Land at Fox, they zoom me upstairs. It was actually street level where they do the makeup. Did my makeup in 10 minutes flat. Hair did my hair, makeup did my makeup. Zoom me up to a studio. I've got a producer in my ear. I'm actually not even talking to a live person. I'm talking to somebody in my ear, and did the interview. And I stuck up for all of us. And I said, this is not good for small business, but we look to Congress to raise the threshold. It is extremely costly to comply for sales tax in thousands of jurisdictions, very time consuming. And we really look to Congress to remember us as small business people. And that for the United States, everybody talks about let's create opportunity for business. So let's hold our congressional people to that and help us and just raise the threshold as much as possible. So that's why I have this makeup on. I really want to get to keywords because that's what I had promised to talk to you guys about. And this is actually a question that came up, and it's an excellent, excellent, excellent question. And so it was asked of me, when you're dealing with keywords, both in your title and in your description, what about doing abbreviations like either SS or S/S for short sleeved, and SS for short sleeved, and then LS, same thing, either LS or L/S for long sleeve. And here's my answer for you in light of what Google says about using foreign characters is Google and eBay search do not know what SS and LS is. Now, some shoppers might, very experienced online shoppers might recognize the abbreviation and know what it is. But the problem is that eBay search doesn't know what it is, and Google doesn't know what it is. And I will tell you how you find out about this because I tested this. So I got my phone and I went onto the eBay app. And if you don't have the eBay app on your phone, I really encourage you to get it or put it on your tablet. And if you don't have a phone or a tablet, do this when you're over at your friends, get them to do it. And search, this is what's really good, just put in SS. And you know what happens when you put in SS? It says SSD in computer drives, SSD in laptops, and notebooks. So it starts to fill it in immediately. It doesn't say short sleeved. I said, okay, which means it doesn't recognize it. Then I did LS. Let's just see if that works. No. LS1 engine in motor parts and accessories, LS3 engine. So immediately it thinks I'm buying some kind of car, and I'm not. So if there is not room to write long sleeve, short sleeve in the title, okay, doesn't mean you're not putting it in the item specifics or the description. Don't. Put other good keywords there. The brand, the color, the period, other things. But don't put it in the title. Now, item specifics, at least in most of the categories that I've been looking at for clothing, and make sure that you're listing with the correct eBay listing category. So it's women's clothing tops, men's clothing shirts, or whatever it is. There is usually a drop-down menu. I do women's dresses, and I notice for women's dresses, it will ask for sleeve style. And then there's a drop-down menu, sleeveless, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, so it's 3/4 on your arm, okay? So take a look at that. That means when it's in item specifics and it's in the drop-down menu, so it'll say sleeve style or whatever it says, and then it has a drop-down menu. That is an item specific that is being fed to search. If you have that information, you very much want to put it in. And sometimes I'll hear sellers say, oh, well, you know, I'm just getting this listing up quickly, so I'm just ignoring item specifics, and I'm just doing the title and the pictures. And you've seen this, and then the description is, look at pictures. Well, guess why your item isn't showing in search? You are not giving eBay or Google enough information. So please, please, please look at the item specifics, particularly when it has drop-down menus. It does for colors. It does for sleeve style for most clothing listings, and use that. And then, of course, in the description, you can say short sleeve or long sleeve. But I find that putting it in the title is not useful. It's not helping you in search. Again, if you really feel it helps you with the sale, and if you want to put it at the very end, you can do so. My only caution with that is because it's a term that eBay doesn't know, and because it's a term that Google doesn't know, it could impact search, and that search will just throw away your listing. It will just overlook it because it doesn't recognize what you're putting in the title, okay? So I would encourage you not to do it. However, there are some common abbreviations that are recognized. For instance, because I checked this, LBD, which is little black dress. When you type in LBD, it shows up in women's clothing and in vintage clothing, shoes, and accessories. So what that, and this is all just, you're just typing it into your phone. You can also do it on your computer. What that tells me is that abbreviation is recognized by eBay search and by Google then. Okay, so then that would be okay to use. I know a lot of people do vintage VTG. So if you type in VTG, aha! When you type it in, it shows VTG in men's clothing, VTG in vintage clothing, also VTG Barbie, VTG t-shirt, VTG hat. So VTG is recognized. So if there's an abbreviation that you are used to using, pull your phone out, grab the eBay app, and take a look at if it is being used or not. If it is not, realize you could be hurting yourself as far as search. So why not just take that out, really take a look at your item specifics and see if there is somewhere in there. Again, you're looking for the drop-down menu or a custom field, or put it in your description. Is that clear?